Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to Sister Wives with Mary Jane K. Today, I'll be giving my commentary on Sister Wives, Season 19, Episode 8, A Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. The episode opens with David coming over for dinner to meet Christine's kids. Some of the kids love David while others are still on the fence about him. Peyton and Gwendolyn haven't met David yet, but tonight, Peyton will meet him for the first time. Christine mentions that the kids really miss the old family traditions that each sister wife did, the different things they cooked, so she is going to bring them back. Christine is nervous about how her kids are going to take David. She doesn't know how they're going to behave. She knows they joke around a lot, and she admits that the relationship is moving really fast with David. After only a couple months, they're already thinking of marriage. She knows this is it. Dave is her soulmate, and she is going to marry David. Peyton thinks that David might be too old for Christine. And we, of course, already know this, but David has two sisters who used to live polygamy. They don't anymore. One got out of it with a divorce, and the other one was widowed. And David, of course, has no interest in polygamy, but he's familiar with it. Christine wants to get married in Moab. Dave loves Moab. They want to get married in October. It's a really in-demand month. So they are looking at wedding venues and they're planning a wedding before they even get engaged. So they have a wedding date set. They're not engaged, but they know where they're headed. Aspen is really surprised with how fast this is. It's right after her mom got out of a 25-year relationship. And we also learn that David is serious. He has already asked Christine's dad if he can marry her. And her dad said yes, he seems to like David a lot. On the second date, Christine and David went to see The Little Mermaid, and Christine was hoping for a little love. So she was hoping that the song Kiss the Girl would get David to kiss her, and he didn't. Dave explains he's just not that type of guy. He's a gentleman, and Christine had to wait. Christine got no affection for decades, so now she's soaking it all in. She's ready to put it all out there after being married to Kotex for decades. She says being married to Cody for decades, she felt so uncertain about that relationship the whole time. So she isn't entering into this relationship with David with even a shred of uncertainty. She is sure about this. Of course, we remember the doom and gloom of her wedding day to Cody. Cody had that 1,000-yard stare. She realized during her honeymoon when Cody was being a curmudgeon in the car on the way to their honeymoon in the sticks, that he was angry and unhappy and a completely different person than the man that she thought that she married. So there was a lot of uncertainty the whole time. Even on their wedding day, Cody knew it was a mistake. And Christine realized when she got to her honeymoon that this isn't the guy she thought Cody was. So there was uncertainty the whole time. And with David, she's 100% all in and she's sure. Cody says it's clear to him that Christine's goal in leaving him was to find her soulmate, so he expected her to date, and he says he isn't interested in the details, but he wishes her well. Cody doesn't want the details, but let's not forget when Cody married Robin, when he was courting her before they even got engaged, Cody was acting lovesick. Robin was sniffing his jacket that one of the kids was wearing, saying that she missed him. They were gushing about being soulmates. And Cody said that in front of all of his wives and all of his kids. But now with Christine, he doesn't want that. He doesn't want to know the details. It would be too much for him. How does he think his wives felt? Aspen isn't used to all the PDA with her mom. And she notes that the last time she saw her mom affectionate was with her dad, and that was once when they danced in the kitchen back in Vegas. So all this PDA stuff is all new because her mom and Cody weren't very affectionate. This in-your-face love is a new thing for Aspen. Isabel is weirded out by it, by the excessive PDA. I understand. I would want to see my mom or my dad happy, but I wouldn't want to see them making out excessively, tongue kissing in front of me. At that point, I would be like, I'm not hanging out with you unless you don't do it in front of me because it's fucking gross. But I get that Christine really never got the experience of her first love, falling in love, having a real romantic relationship, getting engaged, getting married, having a wedding, planning a wedding. So she wants this. She's always wanted this. And now she actually gets to have this with a real man. So she might be acting like a little bit of a teenager, head over heels, But she never got that experience when she was in the right age to be acting like that. So she's doing it now. And you know what? She should enjoy herself. She should also tone it down a little just until her kids are comfortable, because this is all very new for them. And this side of their mom is also very new for them. And to be honest, it's gross as a kid if you're watching grown adults in your family, like your mom, dad, your aunt and uncle, like making out tongue in mouth. You don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see that. But I do really like seeing Christine happy, and I get why she's being this way. And I hope she enjoys it, and I hope that she has this honeymoon phase with David for the rest of her life. She is making up for 25 years, over 2 decades of no affection from a husband who basically acted like she was a chore to complete, like she didn't even exist. So now she gets to feel appreciated and loved for who she is, and it really shows. Christine looks beautiful, she's glowing, and I want her to be happy. I think we all really want to see Christine really happy. Christine says with all the excessive PDA, what she's doing is she's testing her kids, and she wants them to adjust to her new relationship. She should also respect how comfortable they are and how weirded out they feel by it, and kind of come to a happy medium and compromise a little. It's a bit much to see your mom's tongue in another man's mouth, sucking face, eating each other's faces off like high schoolers. It's a little bit much. If it was every now and then, but it's like constant. Mykelti and Tony really like to tease Christine, because Christine, in the beginning, when Mykelti and Tony wanted to get married, she was very hesitant about their relationship when they first got together. And we flash back to that scene of Cody trying to convince Tony and Mykelti to wait a little bit, since Maddie was having her wedding, and they wanted to get married right after Maddie, like a month or a few months right after Maddie, and they were trying to get Mykelti and Tony to wait a little bit. Christine says now that she's found love, now that she's found her soulmate, she gets now exactly why Tony and Mykelti felt they had to rush. Peyton knows even if he felt that things were going too fast between his mom and David, even if he was uncomfortable with it, it wouldn't change his mom's resolve to push forward at warp speed. What her kids think isn't going to stop her. So Peyton knows that even if he wasn't crazy about Dave, even if he felt it was too fast, his mom is going to do what she wants. So Isabel is really uncomfortable with how fast things are going. Christine doesn't want to waste any time. David is going to be meeting Janelle and Janelle's kids next weekend. Janelle supports this relationship. She has never met David, but she hears rave reviews, and she really appreciates that David raised his kids alone, 8 kids, after his wife died. And Janelle points out that David still has a great relationship with all of his kids. And she thinks that says a lot about him, a lot about his character. So she hasn't met him, but she likes him so far. Christine and David are going to get matching tattoos. Peyton thinks it's weird. I just think Christine never got a normal growing up experience outside of polygamy. She never really got to have a romantic relationship or a lot of relationships in like the outside world that wasn't really in her community. So I think right now she's like reliving what should have been her glory days, like getting tattoos, planning this huge big wedding, doing PDA everywhere she goes. I think she's really in love. She's riding that wave, and she's also having a lot of experiences most people have when they're younger, because she never got to have them at all. She was raised in a polygamous family. So this is her chance to really live. And I love seeing her this happy. I really love seeing her this happy. I mean, she is glowing. She's glowing. Cody thinks about Christine, and he says he no longer regrets it. He now recalls all of the good times. Looking back, he's remembering the positive memories. And now he wishes he and Christine could have stayed friends. And Cody thinks it's because he felt betrayed by Christine at every stage of the breakup. And because of that betrayal, he doesn't know if he will ever be in a good place with her. Cody wasn't betrayed. Cody intentionally did everything he could to be absent in his marriage with Christine, to be absent in the home he shared with Christine. Cody neglected Christine. He neglected his kids. He admitted many times that he was repulsed by Christine, even though, in my opinion, she's gorgeous. And Cody also used sex as a bargaining chip to try and manipulate Christine to kiss Robin's ass more. Cody was very neglectful of his kids with Christine. He was very absent, and Cody lacked the basic human decency and the basic responsibility as a father to attend Isabel's major surgery. And he also refused to help her move to college. And during that time, he cited a multitude of COVID excuses as to why he couldn't do it. He even questioned if gas stations would be open, when he had no problem driving cross country to officiate a wedding and bask in the limelight because it fed his ego. Cody, time and time again, makes choices that show his family, that show viewers that he will always prioritize himself, that he's selfish, that he prioritizes feeding his insecure ego, that he prioritizes his own convenience over anything and anyone else in life, even if it means not being there for his daughter's major surgery. This is the kind of guy Cody is. Even most Disneyland dads would make the effort to show up for their kids' major surgery. And that would be regardless of how the relationship was with the mother. Most dads would be there. Let's also not forget how Cody initially suggested to a terrified Isabel, who was in a world of pain during a pandemic, that maybe she should fly alone across the country to get this major surgery. Isabel was terrified at that, and Christine had to reassure her she would never let that happen. That's how stupid, insensitive, selfish, and cruel Cody is. Even in an emergency situation, unless it's convenient for him, unless it feeds his ego in some big way, you have to know you cannot count on him being there. Unless, of course, it's for Robin and her kids. Robin would never accept that Cody wasn't there for one of her kids' major surgeries. Robin would never accept if Cody suggested to one of her kids who was in a world of pain that maybe she should fly alone cross country to do it alone. And we all know for Robin's kids, Cody would never consider not being there. Maybe Cody should consider why Christine herself might never want anything to do with him beyond being civil at family events. If Cody wants to talk about betrayal and the betrayal Christine did to him and why he may not want to have a relationship with her ever, he should really think about this. He should stop projecting that onto Christine and look in the mirror at himself. He betrayed Christine. He betrayed his kids. I've never seen anyone with less self-awareness. He's sitting there talking about, oh, I wish I could be friends with Christine. Oh, I don't know if I can. But the betrayal she did to me. What the fuck? What about the betrayal you did to Christine and her kids and everyone else in the family? He betrays everyone and then he projects that on other people and assumes that they did that to him when that's not the case. It's the other way around, and Cody doesn't want to take accountability for it. He would rather play the victim and project. I really have never seen anyone with less self-awareness. It is frightening how out of touch Cody is. Back to Christine and David. Peyton thinks David is a good guy. He thinks there could be a future with him, but he also says you never know what could happen. And of course, Isabel and Aspen think it's way too fast. So today, it's Cody's 55th birthday. This guy is almost 60 and he doesn't even act like he's even 10 years old. His kids have already surpassed him maturity-wise, emotional intelligence-wise, self-awareness-wise, intellectually, in their communication style. In any way that you can surpass a person, his kids have already outdone their father. If Cody's almost 60 and he's at this level, things aren't going to be getting much better than this. So Cody reflects on his 55th birthday that he's had an interesting life. He says at 50, he wondered what he wanted to do for the rest of his life and who he wants to be. And he says last night, he and Robin talked about their values, and they discussed Cody struggling with his values throughout the divorce process. Cody admits he has lost a sense of direction for his life, and he feels he has had a struggle because he had a big picture and that got shattered. But he says he has a safe, kind, sweet place with Robin, the angel, cap in hand, the last wife left standing, and maybe not for long. He says he has tons of guilt because he isn't more involved with his other kids, with all of his kids. And Robin says Cody has been angry. He's been very upset. He's very lost. He's been lost the past few years. Robin says Cody is in a painful place right now, in a place of fear, and he fears that she will leave him too. I wouldn't put it past her. She's legal wife. And if Cody goes too insane in the membrane, she's going to take her kids and she's going to leave with half of all his coins and everything. And she will have security for the rest of her life. So there is a possibility that one day, if Cody goes too crazy, she might say, peace out. I had enough. I can't fucking deal with you. I've said this from the beginning. I don't think Robin would ever hesitate to throw Cody under the bus if it came down to it and he was acting way more unstable than she felt she could manage. She felt like she couldn't coddle him. If she feels like she can't deal with it anymore, she won't hesitate to leave him. And when she does, she will throw him under the bus and play victim and let us all know, oh, how horrible he was, so that she can get people to feel sorry for her. We already know that Robin is losing respect for Cody. Now, Cody wonders what his purpose was 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago. Cody says his purpose was always his family and his children. He reflects that when he was younger, he was really naive coming into plural marriage. He was idealistic about it. And he saw himself surrounded by children and wives, a huge family, of course, serving him, feeding his ego, and he gets to be the center and he gets to be the hero. Of course, that's what Cody wanted with his personality type. Cody imagined a world where his older kids, they would grow up, they would get married, they would have children, and they would live right across the street from him, everybody close together. He wanted a Brown family compound where he's the cult leader. Oh my God. Cody says that fantasy he had came from the affection he felt for his children. He says for him, it wasn't a plural family thing. He just really enjoyed his family. He enjoyed his children, and he hopes his kids won't reject him. He says some of his kids won't talk to him, but now he has a new goal to be a dad to all of his kids. If TVs had smell-o-vision, we would be smelling bullshit every time Cody opened his mouth. Robin really wants Cody to remember who he is, the guy she met, the guy she saw loving his kids. Robin feels like Cody is really struggling with that right now because he is so hurt. Robin tells the world this isn't who Cody is. Maybe it's not who Robin thinks Cody was when she married him, but that's who he is now. And there's a good chance Cody will be like this for the rest of his life. There's a good chance that Cody was always like this and maybe that he was much better at masking it in the beginning. So Cody tells the world that his new thing on his 55th birthday is that he is in a covenant form with God. He prayed to God, they made a covenant, and he reasserted himself to from here on out be the loving father and dad that has given him purpose in his life. So Cody really wants to move forward with this goal. His new goal is to be Father of the Year. See, in my opinion, Cody is really doing this for himself, to save face, and also so Robin won't leave him. I don't think Cody is doing this for his kids. I think Cody is doing this for himself and for his ego because he thinks it's going to make him feel better. He thinks it's going to make him look better. It's all about him wanting purpose, him wanting stuff out of it, him wanting things out of this. He wants purpose, and he's using his kids he burned the bridges with as his purpose to try and restore his totaled ego. This is about restoring his ego, not about rebuilding the bridges. This is about Cody giving himself purpose. This is about Cody himself feeling better. This is about Cody keeping Robin. This is not about Cody saying, I love my kids. I miss my kids. I made huge mistakes. I hurt them. I care about them. I care about their well-being. I want them in my life. I want to know them. I want them to know me. This is about what Cody's kids can do for him in giving him purpose. This is not about his kids themselves and him loving his kids and having concern for them and missing them and wanting them in his life. This is about him. It's a very selfish thing. I really think Cody's main reason for doing this is he is scared that Robin will leave him. Cody declares that he is making his family whole again. Listen, his family aren't pieces on a chessboard. First he wants to rid himself of the obstacles to his goals in life. And now because Robin is losing respect for him and she might leave him, he is making it his goal to win his kids over. And he's doing it really to soothe his ego and so it can give him purpose. He's doing this so he can get a purpose in life, not for his kids, not for his love for his kids. He's doing this so Robin doesn't leave him. Nowhere in anything Cody said did I see him really want to do this for the right reasons, out of love for his children, out of concern, out of care for them, out of feeling remorse and guilt and apologetic, feeling the shame for hurting them and abandoning them and neglecting them so. It's all about giving him purpose and appeasing Robin, and I think that's sad. I think his kids deserve better. Now, Cody is still talking about everyone's betrayal, how everyone did him wrong, how everyone betrayed him. Listen, until Cody takes accountability for his betrayal towards everyone in his family, he really isn't going to get far. Recently, Cody was talking about needing to forgive Gabe, saying that he will forgive Gabe if Gabe forgives him, when Gabe has nothing to apologize for. And today he is talking about Christine's betrayal. So when does Cody realize he is the one who needs to be making the apologies? Nobody else has anything to apologize for. He needs to be taking accountability. He needs to apologize to them. Now, Cody really oozes cowardice. He's pathetic. It just oozes out of his pores. He oozes self-pity. And I doubt Cody's ever going to get it. I doubt anybody in the family is going to get the accountability they deserve from him. I really don't think so. Back to Christine and David. Happy things. Christine says David told her a few weeks ago it was time to go ring shopping. So Christine says they're not engaged, but they're looking at wedding venues. They're looking at rings. And Christine is loving this experience because she never went ring shopping before. Cody picked a ring. He just brought it home to her. He didn't really put much thought into it. Christine doesn't like surprises. She likes doing things together with David. So she really loves this experience of ring shopping with David. I am so glad Christine really gets to experience all of these things that she never got with Cody, because she deserves all of this. Christine's first engagement ring from Cody, it wasn't even an engagement ring. She got the Brown family Claudia ring. Let's not forget Mary. Poor Mary, her rings got melted down. So Janelle says if she ever gets remarried, she wants a simple gold band. Mary knows exactly what she wants. She has specific guidelines of what she would want if she ever has to get a ring. Now, Cody doesn't know if Christine is dating, but he assumes that she might be, since her goal in leaving him was to find her soulmate. Christine explains that in plural marriage with the weddings, there aren't big celebrations that include the whole family. There aren't even celebrations between husband and wife. There's no reception. It's just a really small affair. Basically, the church ceremony and a couple people may be eating together, and that's it. The wedding isn't about the bride. You're marrying into a family, so you're focusing more on the family. You're not really doing a wedding. This time, Christine wants it all. She wants the wedding, the bridal shower, the dress, the ring, the cake, all of it. Janelle says if she were to get married, she wants it simple. They can get married outside. She can get married in jeans. Mary doesn't know yet what she would want. Just like Christine and David got matching tattoos, they're also getting matching rings. David recalls one day when he was laying on the floor with Christine, he told her he could marry her that night, that he was ready. And he says he was unhappy. He was single for so long. And now he is so happy with Christine. Listen, At least we know David is a real man. He was widowed, his wife passed away, and he raised young kids, 8 kids, from the time they were young, all by himself, and he has great relationships with all of his kids, and he's very present in their lives. That says a great deal about the kind of man David is. Next, Janelle and Cody meet for lunch. She hasn't seen him for a while, and she is very concerned, of course, about the deadline with paying off the land. So far, there hasn't been any communication or any cooperation from Cody since the breakdown of the family. And of course, Janelle has wanted to pay the land off for years. So Janelle hopes Cody has a plan. She doesn't trust him, and she lets us know she is willing to take legal action, and she has spoken to a lawyer already. Fuck yeah, you go, girl. Janelle wants to discuss the property since it's almost due in 3 months. In about 3.5 months, everything's going to be due. They have a balloon payment, and Cody isn't doing anything to figure it out with her. Cody isn't too concerned. He acts like it's not a big deal. He knows that it gets under Janelle's skin and that Janelle wants to handle it. So he's just kind of mysterious about it, and he tells her, oh, well, we still have months. Janelle, of course, feels time is short. There's an urgency to this. And if they can't pay off the land, she tells Cody they're going to have to do some sort of financing. If they can't make this balloon payment, they can take the whole property back and they will lose. So Janelle says they really signed a bad contract. They weren't smart about it when they signed it. You know, my question is, why would they be so stupid? If Cody is this intelligent man that he thinks he is, why would he be that fucking dumb? He thinks he can lead a family, but it doesn't seem like he could read a contract. Cody explains that when Christine left, she traded the equity in her home for her equity in Coyote Pass. So Coyote Pass now has 4 owners, of course. Cody, Robin, Janelle, and Mary. And they don't know how they're going to divide it. Janelle is really pressuring Cody to pay it off. And Cody says he really doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't feel like doing Janelle any favors. He knows they have to pay it off, but he's not going to jump to do it. He's going to make Janelle sweat. Janelle suggests to Cody that he could buy her out, and Cody tells Janelle she just jumped to the end. And he asks her, well, what about us? What about you living on the property? What about you and me? Why does Cody play dumb when he knows it's over? Janelle looks at Cody like he's a mental patient when he asks this. And she tells him she doesn't even think that she and Cody exist in the same universe anymore. It's like he's on another planet. Now, Janelle tells Cody she thinks he's awesome. Whenever they talk, she feels he has a hook in her. But she has been so happy without him. And she doesn't foresee a long-term thing for them. She knows it's not going to work out. It's over. It's done. Janelle adds that she doesn't even know who Cody is anymore, and he hasn't been in her house for 2 years. Cody says they haven't really talked about their relationship. Really? No? Only a million times. What the fuck? They've had multiple conversations on the show about it, and we don't know off camera privately how many times they've talked. Is Cody going through the early stages of dementia? Does he just tune Janelle out when she speaks? What planet does Cody live on? He is as bad at playing dumb as his wife is. Now, Janelle tells Cody they've talked about it. They've talked about it many times. Cody doesn't feel they've really talked about the relationship. Now, Janelle looks shocked when Cody says this, and she really gets this look in her eyes like she is talking to a mental patient in a straitjacket when Cody says this. And Janelle admits they have had so many conversations, and it's done. They aren't compatible. Multiple times she has told Cody they are done. And in previous conversations, Cody even agreed with her and told her it was sad that they were over. So Cody knows. Now, Janelle is speechless at Cody playing dumb. And she wonders why they're discussing this now. And she thinks this is Cody deflecting, that this is Cody's diversion tactic, deflecting from discussing paying off the land. And of course, Janelle is right. Cody starts talking about his relationship with Christine and with Mary and going off on tangents to avoid discussing the land. So he tells Janelle that the way things have gone in his relationship with Christine and his relationship with Mary, and then he doesn't even finish that thought, and then he says he and Mary have remained friends, they will always be friends, and he will never say another bad thing about Mary. Mark that down, guys. Remember that. Cody just said here, he will never say another bad thing about Mary. Remember that, because we all know it's not true. Mary isn't Cody's friend. She's civil, she's peaceful to him. She may be more friendly when she communicates with him than the other ex-wives, but I doubt Mary wants to sit with Cody and break bread ever again. What does his relationship with Mary or with Christine have to do with Janelle and discussing the land or their relationship? All he wants to do is deflect. He knows in the end he's going to help pay off the land because his finances are on the line too. But he wants Janelle to squirm. He wants to make Janelle nervous. He wants to make Janelle stressed, not knowing how she's going to pull it off, because she's not going to ruin her finances. If Cody isn't going to try to help her, she'll find a way to do it herself rather than ruin all of her finances and all of her credit and everything. So Cody's just trying to put undue stress on Janelle. He knows he's going to do the right thing as far as paying off because it affects his finances and Robin's finances. So of course he's going to do it when it affects him, but he wants to see Janelle squirm. It's so fucked up because Janelle was primary breadwinner for I don't know how long. Janelle paid for most of Robin and Cody's house with her Vegas proceeds, and Cody doesn't give a fuck about easing Janelle's mind and coming up with a plan and communicating like an adult about how they're going to deal with this because Cody is a dick face. Cody says any talk that he and Janelle have about reconciliation, it's a bullshit pipe dream from both of them. Now, I've never heard Janelle talk about reconciliation. I've heard Cody throw it out there, just to look like he's trying, basically, with really no emotion behind it, no passion behind it, just throwing it out there, empty words. But I have never heard Janelle ever mention it. I've never heard Janelle mention reconciliation. I think from the point Cody told her to be more like Robin, more obedient, more subservient, if she wanted him to invest in their marriage, Janelle pretty much knew it was done when he asked her to change who she was. I think Janelle knew it was done from the time Cody said, pick me or pick the kids. Janelle knew it was done. Janelle will always pick her kids. Janelle never spoke of reconciliation. Cody is the only one who pretends to have this false hope, and he probably only did that to really string Robin along and to appease her. Cody says he discussed getting back together with her because he wants to be back in the good graces with his children. Now, Cody says he knows reconciling with Janelle would require some kind of power game where he gave her all of the power in the relationship, and he adds that he would think that that was fair since he had the power for so many years. Cody isn't interested in that. He thinks reconciliation is a fake discussion. He tells viewers he is telling us his heart's truth, that he and Janelle both don't want to be the one that's accountable for breaking up. His heart's truth? You know what? Cody's tripping. If he ever thought he had the power, he's wrong. Janelle left Cody before and she came back, and now she's leaving for good. And at any time during these years, if Janelle wanted to leave him, she would have left him, and she had a job, an education, the money, and the means to do it. Cody never had the power with Janelle. Now, Janelle doesn't want to dominate Cody and hold the power. Her marriage for Janelle, it wasn't ever a game to her. She just wanted to matter to Cody. She just wanted to be his equal. And she probably wanted to see the same investment Cody gave to Robin's kids given to her kids. Janelle's main concern is her children. Janelle is strong, she's independent, she's intelligent, she's ambitious, and she wants to be in an equal marriage. She wants to be an equal in her marriage, and she expects it to be 50-50, and respect goes both ways. Cody wants a patriarchy. Cody wants feigned obedience. He wants ego feasts. Cody wants to be manipulated. He doesn't give a fuck if it's real or not. just as long as his ego gets fed and he gets to feel like a hero. With Robin, Cody is far too dumb to notice that she manages him, that she gives him the impression of obedience when really she wears the pants. She lets Cody think he's in charge, he's the big boss, but in the end, she always makes sure everything goes her way. Janelle isn't a fake bitch. She's not a manipulative bitch. She can't do that. She doesn't like bullshit. She isn't going to slave over an ego feast. Cody wants to live in a fairy tale that serves his insecure, fragile ego. And Janelle wants reality. She doesn't want a fantasy. She isn't willing to play Cody's game. And for her, a marriage isn't a game. And to Cody, it's all a game. It's all a war. It's all a fight for who gets control, for who holds power. Cody still doesn't get that he has no power at all. In his mind, he's the king. Janelle's pretty, Janelle's smart, Janelle works hard, Janelle's real. She will find a man who loves her as she is, who can reach her level intellectually, financially, emotionally, in every aspect if she wants to. Cody will never be that guy, just like Janelle will never be a fake, manipulative bitch like Robin. We will never see Janelle play victim. Cody wants to be lied to. He wants to be coddled. He wants to be manipulated. Now, when Cody has to be convincing to try and convince us, when he's telling us stuff like, oh, his heart's truth is that no one wants to be the one accountable for breaking up. You know, I just want to point out that Janelle doesn't give a fuck if she is the one to call their relationship. But even if she decided it's done, Cody needs to understand just because she's the one who said when, she isn't accountable for the marriage breaking up. Cody caused this intentionally with his indifference, with his toxic behavior, with his absence. Cody pushed Janelle all the way out with his behavior, with his toxicity, with his demands that she become obedient like Robin, with his demands that she pick him over their sons. Cody did this. Whether Janelle is the one who calls it or not, it doesn't make him any less culpable or accountable. Cody caused this. It's not about who yells uncle first in the end. Now, Janelle feels Cody wants a wife who acts differently than she does. And Janelle laughs and she says, it's over. And she is all smiles, just radiating as she says this. She probably feels relief. She says she doesn't really need finality to say that. For her, it's over, it's done. Now, Janelle tells Cody that he complains about her independence and she complains about his selfishness, about how self-absorbed he is. I was cheering at the TV when Janelle said that. I was like, fuck yes, tell him. Now, Cody acts confused when Janelle says this, like he's never heard it before. He asks Janelle if she's meaning that in reference to the last 2 years of the divorce. And Janelle says, no, it's way before that. So Cody asks if that's how he always was. And Janelle says, maybe he always was that way. And Cody doesn't like that answer. You could tell it hurt his ego. He looks humiliated and he scowls and he looks down at his plate of food, just moping like an upset child. Now, Janelle mentions that there is also the big question of the kids. And she tells Cody that the kids talk about the dad they grew up with versus who he is now. His kids don't even recognize him. Cody retorts that the kids have shut him out and they're going based on recency bias and what happened during COVID. Of course, Cody has bullshit excuses for anything. It's anything but him being honest with himself and his kids and his ex-wives. It's anything but him taking a shred of accountability. He never considers that if all of these people want nothing to do with him, that maybe he might be the problem. Cody has really lost touch with himself. He has really lost touch with reality. And he lies to himself to assuage his ego, making all kinds of excuses, pointing at every direction but at himself. If this was really about Cody loving his kids and wanting to prioritize them, being genuine about his vow at 55 to be the father he once was. And not just to appease Robin, not just to boost his ego, not just to give him purpose, Cody would be taking full accountability. But all we see is the same tired bullshit. This is never going to work, and I don't think Cody will ever change. Janelle adds that even through the ebbs and flows in their relationship, Cody was always a good dad. And that's what endeared him to her. And now Janelle doesn't know how she would ever be able to reconcile with Cody if he didn't have a relationship with her kids. Janelle says she will always choose her kids. She tells Cody she always felt his life centered around Robin's house. And Cody makes the excuse that in the last 2 years, Robin's house was the only place that was safe. Janelle says it was way before the last 2 years that Cody focused on Robin. And of course, we've heard from Christine that all the way back to Vegas, Cody was already focusing on Robin. So Janelle explains it's been more than the last 2 years where she felt she wasn't as important as Robin. And Robin feels like anytime Cody makes a choice the rest of the wives or kids don't like, she gets blamed for it. She says there's a new concept that's around that she has Cody wrapped around her little finger and that she's doing evil spells on him. Now, I laughed out loud at that. Robin has me laughing lately. I'm never going to like her. I can't stand manipulative people. But last episode, she brought up Cody's murder face, and I really appreciated that. And now she's referencing her voodoo spells. This woman knows she's manipulating the fuck out of Cody. She knows she will stop at nothing to have stability and financial security for herself and her kids. And she got everything she wanted, including the legal marriage, off of the backs of her sister wives. She's a master manipulator. We jokingly call her a witch. Nobody genuinely believes that this woman dabbles in the dark arts or bewitches Kotex with hexes. You know, she may have his balls in a vice, and she does manage him like she's the neck that turns the head. She will never admit it, but as she's saying this, she's smiling like she knows it and like she's getting away with it. She laughs, she jokes about how absurd it is, but she knows she manages the fuck out of Cody. You know, don't serve us a glass of piss and call it lemonade, Robin. Please stop. Now, Robin says it's ridiculous to think that. And she says, if you know Cody Brown, you know he's not to be controlled. It's not control. It's manipulation. It's things like feigning obedience, managing Cody, manipulating him so he thinks he calls the shots. It's his idea when really it's Robin behind the scenes all along, and she's suggesting things to him and making him think it's his idea. He's her puppet and he thinks he's her king. She really is a master manipulator. 5 out of 5 stars on that. I'll give her that. She does a great job at manipulation. The best customer service, the constant ego feasts, the feigned respect, the feigned subservience. But Robin always knows she is the neck, she turns the head. Now, Janelle tells Cody his life is centered around the little kids, and Cody says it always was. And he wonders if it's because Janelle doesn't have little kids that she thinks the generation gap is too much between herself and Robin to bridge. Janelle tells Cody she doesn't have much in common with Robin, and she feels like it's a problem. Janelle tells Cody that there are times, like on her birthday, when Cody got mad at her about a conversation she had with Robin that Robin went and told him about. Janelle had this conversation with Robin years ago when she was getting ready to buy the house. And Janelle asked Robin to please not buy something that would chew up all of their resources as a family. And Janelle, in my opinion, knew Robin was looking to cash in and get a roof off of the backs of her sister wives, off of their blood, sweat, and tears. And Janelle knew that Robin was legal wife. Janelle knew what was up with Robin, and I just really wish she put her foot down before she gave any of her Vegas proceeds to her. Janelle says during the conversation, Robin agreed with her. Robin was amiable, But then she went and told on her to Cody. And Cody went back and admonished Janelle on her birthday and told Janelle how mean she was to Robin. Of course, Janelle knew Robin told Cody because she never told him once about that conversation. Do you guys remember when Robin said she never goes to Cody with her issues about the other sister wives because it's not right and blah, blah, blah? Listen, this is only the millionth time we have had Robin blab to Cody so that he could handle things. How many problems in Cody's private relationships with each wife resulted because of Robin and her meddling and her demands and her complaints? She probably went to Cody with every grievance she had with a wife instead of dealing with it woman to woman. She was probably too big of a coward to go directly to the woman, and she probably went to Cody to tattletale because she is a coward just like her husband, the ballless wonder. Robin says she didn't tattle on Janelle, but she told Cody that she and Janelle were in agreement about not buying her home, and then it turned into a really big thing where Robin got in trouble with Janelle because Cody went after Janelle, and on her birthday to boot. Now, Robin says she and Janelle had that conversation, they agreed, and she wanted Cody to know that. If they agreed, then why would Cody take any issue with it and scold Janelle like she's a child? Robin wants to make it seem like Cody pushed her to buy the home, in my opinion, with her sister wives' money when she didn't want it, like it was Cody who made the decision. And probably to Janelle's face, she agreed with Janelle during the conversation. And then she probably complained to Cody about it later, so he could be the bad guy instead of her. So now she wants to blame Cody for why she bought her house. These women want nothing to do with Robin because she is manipulative as fuck and they don't trust her, and she will lie. She will talk out of both sides of her mouth. She has all these emotional issues, and with one person it's one way, with Cody it's another way. And in the end, when she gets caught being the manipulative witch that she is, she can then throw her hands up and make Cody look like, oh, he was the bad guy. You know, I don't doubt Cody wanted that house, but we all know Robin wanted it too. Let's recall when she made it seem like they had no choice but to buy this house. No rental had all the rooms she needed. For a time, she acted so disappointed, like she didn't want to buy, but it was all for show. That home benefits Robin and her kids. Again, Robin is a legal wife. If she gets a divorce, she gets half of the value of the house if they were to sell it. And her name is on the house, and Cody's name is on the house. And the people who got Robin the house, who paid for the house with their money, Mary and Janelle, won't even see a penny back. And Robin doesn't give a fuck. And why would she? She wants this. She came into this family with debt up to her ears, and she will leave one day with more than she ever had in her entire life, thanks to her sister wives and the money they contributed to her and her home and her household over the years. Now, Cody says he doesn't want to go down that road. He wants to heal things with Janelle. He doesn't want more destruction. And Janelle tells Cody if she can't speak freely, if she can't say that at times she felt Robin was more important to him, she then wants to leave and she doesn't want to talk to him at all. Janelle says this happens every time either she or the kids talk about Robin with him. Cody shuts down. He refuses to go there. And Janelle says Robin is his sacred, perfect cow, and he doesn't want anyone to dare to talk about her. Janelle wonders how Cody would expect to be in a plural marriage with her if he has this person he worships completely. And Janelle explains it's part of being a plural husband in a plural marriage. He has to be able to hear everyone equally and see everyone equally and regard everyone equally. Cody can't do that. He only listens when Robin is speaking. Next up, it's Mary's birthday, and she gets to see her newly remodeled carriage house for the first time. It's been a month since her split with Cody, and she's still grieving the loss of that relationship. She thought that relationship would be for forever, so it feels really weird for her to be single now. So Mary's carriage house is beautiful. She's going to have her workspace. Upstairs, there's going to be a gym area. And of course, Mary has high expectations, and they were all met and exceeded. Mary says it's obviously no secret that she and Cody struggled in their relationship for so many years. So they flash back to Mary really wanting the family to help her get the in. So Mary decides she's going to bust her butt. She's going to do it herself. And Mary says she's been doing everything alone in her life. She is independent and she is much more confident now. And having the in and running the business has really helped her with that. Mary doesn't want to date yet, and she's still really adjusting to being single. Mary was overwhelmed with emotion. She was crying at seeing her new space. And Jen was really happy to see Mary because Mary usually kind of guards her emotions. So when she saw Mary crying, she knew how happy Mary was with this. Mary says she doesn't have to be somewhere where she isn't wanted. It's Cody's loss. It's Cody's loss. Mary has Blair, Mary has Jen, she probably has a ton of other friends in Utah, and Mary will make a beautiful life without Cody. Mary certainly didn't deserve the cruelty or to be degraded the way she was on a continual basis by Cody. Mary deserves better, and Mary will find that. She has no desire to be where she isn't wanted. She will want to be where she's appreciated. Mary says she has her own table now, and the people who want to be with her will be in her life, and she is happy about the life she is creating. And she's happy about the table she has now. She has Blair, she has Jen, probably a million other people who all treat her with love and appreciation and respect, who love her for who she is. And that's what Mary deserved. Back to Cody and Janelle. Janelle tells Cody the fact that there are sacred cows and the fact that she can't discuss and she can't talk about her feelings, she can't discuss the favoritism, she can't discuss the sacred cows. All of that is a sign that something is wrong. She feels it's an indicator that things are just wrong with Cody. And Cody feels Janelle is wrong. She can discuss her feelings all she wants. And Janelle tells Cody she feels there is a bias. Of course there is. Cody sees everything only from his perspective and Robin's perspective. He isn't able to put himself in anybody else's shoes to understand how they're feeling within the family or within their marriages with him. I don't believe Cody has the capability to have empathy, and I really don't believe he gives a fuck. Cody does have a bias. Cody has a very strong favoritism, and it shows. Anyone who says anything against his perspective or his worldview is seen as inconvenient, is seen as a threat, and Cody automatically gets defensive, and he acts like it's a war. He mentions war, terms of war, things like that. He sees everything as a competition, as a war, as a hostility. Cody can't just take in something, think about it critically, understand it may not be the perspective he has, but also understand how the other person feels. He doesn't have the ability to do that. Cody's response to Janelle's bias comment is that Janelle has a card and it says victim on it, and she likes to play the victim card. WTF. Projection much? The only people who play victim here are Cody and Robin. Cody is projecting what he and his wife do. Janelle doesn't play victim. Janelle is simply trying to communicate and use her voice to speak up and convey how she's feeling. And Cody automatically dismisses it because it doesn't align with how he feels by saying, oh, Janelle is just playing victim anytime she has anything critical to say about him or about Robin. Janelle can't discuss her feelings, and she won't be heard if it's anything contrary to what Cody believes. Now, Cody immediately dismisses anything regarding Robin that is mentioned. He always projects, he deflects, he gets defenses, he makes excuses. He refuses to listen to how Janelle feels. He refuses to validate it. He automatically just gets defensive, he shuts down, and he'll ignore it completely. Anytime Robin gets mentioned, it's as if it's a blasphemy to him. Now, Janelle can't talk about her feelings. And if she does, she will receive anger back, hostility, resentment, dismissiveness. She will get dismissed anytime she mentions Robin. Janelle just told Cody that she can't talk about her feelings freely with him. And Cody just proved how right she is within seconds. Janelle just told him minutes ago that years ago, before the past 2 years, she felt like she didn't matter to him as much as Robin. That was even before COVID, even before the divorces. And Cody is still proving to her that she doesn't matter to him. The second Janelle has a critical word, Cody calls her a victim. He labels her that she's playing victim, which is really interesting considering the self-pity and the victim mentalities he and Robin display continually every episode. Even Gabe noticed the other episode that Robin has a victim mentality. It's very fucking obvious. The only people who refuse to admit it are Cody and Robin themselves. Janelle feels that Cody calling her a victim is a very man thing to do, very misogynistic, very patriarchal, which is, of course, typical of Cody. Janelle says here she is, a woman advocating, protecting herself, using her voice, speaking up, and it's labeled as something negative. It's labeled as victim behavior, in this case, by Cody, who acts like he's the world's biggest victim. Janelle doesn't matter to Cody, and it shows. Cody wants obedience. Cody wants submission. Cody wants patriarchy. Any woman who is intelligent and strong and autonomous and independent and free thinking, Cody feels threatened by. Cody feels intimidated by them. And rather than communicating and validating and having a long adult conversation, communicating well as two equal adults, Cody will try to make Janelle feel inferior by putting a victim label on her. When he gaslights the fuck out of her, when he refuses to listen to anything critical of himself or Robin, he just dismisses it completely. He dismisses Janelle's voice and he dismisses Janelle. He demeans Janelle. You know, why would Janelle stay with a man who treats her as less than? Just because she wants to be heard as an equal to her husband and she wants to be validated, Cody automatically puts her down because Cody can't handle strong women. He's a ballless coward. Because he's so insecure and fragile, he wants everyone to feel less than. This is total projection when Cody acts like he's the biggest victim in the world. Janelle really deserves to be heard as an equal to her husband, to be validated, to be understood. Cody doesn't have that ability. So Janelle tells Cody she doesn't know if they would ever really work because she doesn't know if she would ever be on equal playing ground with Cody. Now, Cody says the playing field is always equal. No. Now, Janelle says she can't explain to him when he gets mad, when she brings up certain subjects, she can't even begin to explain to him what the situation is or how she feels. Janelle knows Cody will never communicate. Cody will never be real. Listen, Cody lies to himself. He's not going to be honest with her. Look at how many times in the past Janelle brought up paying off the land. Cody would warn her, if you bring this up, I'm going to get angry, or he would get angry just to try and make Janelle drop the subject. Cody doesn't care to listen to anything Janelle has to say. He doesn't give a fuck about how Janelle feels. All Cody wants is to control everything, to get his ego fed, and to have everything convenient and everything his way where he gets to be the hero. Cody is a very selfish guy. Cody will never listen to Janelle and understand her from her perspective. Cody will never see any woman as his equal. Cody says he doesn't get angry when Janelle brings up certain things like Robin, and he tells her there are no sacred cows. Keep lying to yourself, Kotex, you see? Now, Cody says his primary motivation for he and Janelle to reconcile would be for their family. Their family or the money tree he views Janelle as for he and Robin's kids. Now, Cody says for them to reconcile, he would want for he and Janelle to partner with each other. He says it hasn't ever been a real partnership with Janelle. It will never be because Cody doesn't see Janelle as his equal. Janelle flat out tells Cody she doesn't consider them married anymore. She says her spiritual belief says they are married, but she, for all intents and purposes, doesn't consider them married. Cody wants Janelle to cut the bullshit. And Janelle tells Cody she really struggles with how to proceed here. She knows she never wants to go back to him ever. She doesn't want to be married to him anymore, and she never will. But she doesn't know who to ask or how to go about getting a spiritual release. And Janelle believes in the faith, so she grapples with the spiritual aspect of this. Because, of course, in their faith, when you get married, you are sealed forever, even in eternity in the afterlife. And so Janelle believes in this stuff, so she wants to take care of that aspect. Now, Janelle knows that Mary got a spiritual belief and that they're both in the same boat and they haven't been a part of their congregation for such a long time. So Janelle considers if Mary got a termination, maybe she can too. Cody says he doesn't know if it's the pressure of the faith or if it's the idea that he doesn't want to have another failure. He keeps thinking that he and Janelle could really make it work. He doesn't want to lose that money, that bank account. Janelle explains to Cody it won't work. For it to work, they'd have to be completely different people, both of them. Now, Janelle says Cody keeps bringing up getting back together. Janelle doesn't think it's driven by any real emotion or passion or love from him. Janelle feels if they were both really so heartbroken over this, then we would see more distress and we would see a lot more effort from both of them. Janelle thinks all of this talk of reconciliation is driven by Cody's ego. And she also points out that coming from the culture they do, Cody as a plural husband is seen as a failure to lose every single one of his marriages but one. It reflects very poorly on Cody and his community. Janelle is all smiles while explaining this. She's been married to this man for decades. She has his number, and she knows this is all about his ego and her wallet. It's not about Cody loving her or their kids. She knows just how selfish and egotistical Cody is. Even if Cody wants to lie to himself and the world, Janelle knows what's up. Now, Cody asks Janelle if she still wants to build out there on Coyote Pass or if she would prefer him to buy him out. And of course, Janelle prefers the money, but she says if she gets the land, she's happy to build. If she gets the 4-acre plot, she will just build a home on the hill and forget about building the casita. And Cody explains that if Janelle builds, she'll probably have to call him every week. And Janelle isn't sure she'll be able to do it independently because all of their names are on that land. So Cody wonders if maybe they should try a love affair again. There is no love. I don't think this guy gets it. Why would Janelle have a love affair or even a shred of lingering attraction to a man who emotionally hurt their kids? Cody's ego is pathetic. He also said one episode in the past that Janelle sees him like a piece of meat. Does Cody think if Janelle built a home, he would be able to dickmatize her somehow and get her on the hook again? You know what? That ship has sailed. And we all saw Cody's disgusting body when he drove in the prairie dog plague infested cesspool of a drainage ditch. We all had to see more than we ever wanted to of that man. Ugh. Now, Cody may think that he has a great six-pack and great pecs, but he's the only one. Janelle tells Cody she really needs her autonomy and she needs her independence above all. And Cody explains if Janelle builds on the land, he believes that he and Robin will feel that the ex-wife is on Coyote Pass, and they would think, well, why would they want to build there? Why would they want to be there if Janelle builds there? So Cody feels it would really set him free if Janelle were to take the land, because then he would just leave this area. Is Robin going to be cool with moving away from Flagstaff? I don't think she's going to let him move. She said she didn't want to move again. I don't think she's going to want to move again. Now, Janelle tells Cody if he buys her out, she can be with Maddie. She has options, and she really wants to move closer to her grandkids. She would like the money. She would like to move. So Cody asks Janelle why Maddie didn't call him to tell him she was pregnant with her third child. Janelle explains to Cody that the kids feel very estranged from him, and Maddie told her mom that Cody hadn't visited the grandkids since Evie was born, and Evie is 3 now, so Cody hasn't shown interest in his grandkids for years. So Maddie assumed he wouldn't care about this pregnancy because he never sees the other 2 grandkids. Listen, as a grandfather, if Cody wants to make an effort to regularly see his grandkids, he can. He can be in their lives regularly. Even if it's twice a year, he can make the effort. He can call. He can send gifts. He can do things. If Cody wants to, he can make the effort. Cody makes 0 effort and he expects people to chase after him and to want him in their lives when he has nothing to really offer anyone. He's the one losing out, not everyone else. Next, Cody asks Janelle why the kids act like he has done some kind of evil to them. He doesn't understand why. He doesn't know what he did. He feels he is missing something here. You think? He's missing something, all right. This guy is missing more than a few screws, honestly. If he really is pretending to be this stupid, he knows. He knows what the fuck he did. He just won't take accountability for it. His ego won't allow it. He will never admit. Now, Janelle tells Cody there are lots of nuances and she can't be in the middle. Cody says it's jealousy and it's gossip. And he's really bitter when he says this. Janelle disagrees. She tells Cody, she lets him know it's more than that. It's much more than that. If Cody still doesn't get it, he never will. What Cody says next is very telling. He says he was a hero for 25 years with these kids. Now he's not. He says he doesn't know the answers to this, and he knows it's been a hard process, but he is moving forward with a lot of disappointment in his failure, but also with the hope that they can patch up some of the heartbreak. Once the bridge is burned, usually that's it. It's all ashes now, and very few people are going to be willing to even work with him to rebuild the bridge because Cody's never going to change, and Cody at this point doesn't really have a lot to offer anyone. He's an emotional drain, he's a liability, and he's probably an energy vampire. Like when he walks in a room, you probably feel all the joy and mirth just vacuumed out, sucked out of there. His kids, his ex-wives, his family have a lot to offer him. But what does Cody really have to offer them? Because I'm not seeing much. Cody is still playing victim. Cody is still full of resentment. Cody is still blaming everyone, blaming jealousy, blaming shit talking. When deep, deep down, Cody knows he caused all this with his toxic behavior and with his neglect. Cody shit on his family in his words, in his actions. Cody was absent as a husband and a father for years. He put what he wanted ahead of being a husband and a father to all the children in the family. He stopped prioritizing the larger family, instead focusing solely on the favorite wife and her kids. He lies on his kids. He says they're lying when they tell truths about him. Instead of taking accountability and being a man, he would rather call his kids liars. He talks shit on his kids. He refuses to take a shred of accountability for the mistakes he made that hurt his kids, that hurt their mothers. Cody changed. Cody prioritized Robin and her kids over all of his other kids. He stopped investing with his other kids to give all of his attention to Robin and her kids, where he gets his ego fed, where it's convenient, where he gets to feel like the hero. It's very interesting. Cody said it all when he said he was a hero for 25 years with these kids, and now he's not. That's what this is about. Cody wants relationships based on what he gets out of them, what he gets for himself. Everything is based on his ego and adulation and feeding his ravenous, fragile, weak, insecure ego. Cody focuses on the little kids in the family, in my opinion, because when kids are little, they see their parents as perfect. They see their parents as heroes. They think they walk on water. And then as they grow up, they start seeing everything for what it is. They might have criticism. It might not be easy. They don't get all this ego feast. They don't get to just be the hero. And Cody doesn't like that. Cody's kids fed his ego in exchange for him being present, being a father, being invested. Once the kids had any criticism for him, once it wasn't easy, once it wasn't convenient, once his ego wasn't fed, once he wasn't the hero all the time, Cody just disengaged from everyone and he was no longer interested. In my opinion, Cody's relationships with his kids aren't based on love. They are based on Cody getting love from them, on Cody getting admiration from them, Cody getting his ego fed, what they can give him being the hero. And when he doesn't get that, when it's not easy, Cody is no longer interested in those relationships. Even now, Cody's lamenting that he's no longer their hero. If Cody wants his kids to admire him and respect him and recognize him as the father they once knew, the man they thought they knew, the first step is for Cody to humble himself and for Cody to take full accountability with each of his kids. Cody's relationships with his kids aren't a one-way street where he sucks up all of their love and admiration and offers nothing back in return. Cody wants relationships based on what he gets out of them. The ego boost. The relationships are about him being the hero, him feeling loved, him being adored, him feeling that he has a purpose. It's never about, as a father, what he can offer his kids, how much he loves his kids. He's much more concerned with his ego than with being a father. When does Cody consider the hurt and the emotional suffering that he put his kids through and how it affected them? When does Cody take accountability instead of reliving his glory days when he got to be the hero when the kids were little? Now, Cody claims to have so much trauma over Sonny and Cher's divorce when he was 5. It supposedly impacted him so much as a kid. You know, if it impacted him so much as a kid, people he doesn't even know getting a divorce, why doesn't he remember that feeling and consider that his toxic behavior made his kids feel that way? And take that feeling that he felt for these strangers and multiply that by 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 100. And maybe that's how his kids feel. Why can't Cody understand that? I can't stand this guy. He only considers himself. His kids need accountability, and Cody isn't capable of genuinely giving it. His kids deserve more, but Cody will never be better than he is now at 55, and it's a very low bar. Thanks to the mothers, Cody's kids really seem to have surpassed him in their emotional maturity, in their emotional intelligence, in their wisdom, in their self-awareness. Unless, Cody miraculously, by some miracle, grows up and puts on his big boy panties, I don't ever see a thing changing. Man up. Take accountability with your kids. Admit your mistakes. Tell your kids that you understand how your toxic behavior hurt them. It's not that hard to do, but a man who lies to himself will never be honest with anyone else, let alone his own children. These lives Cody participated in bringing into this world, who had no choice in who their father would be, deserve much more from him. I doubt Cody will ever be capable. And it's not going to get patched up with time and a little hope. Maybe he should try self-awareness and accountability. Janelle lets Cody know she talked to the same lawyer that Cody talked to 2 years ago. And Cody really doesn't like that. But the lawyer is willing to sit with both of them and talk together to just get the preliminary facts of what they can do, what the constraints are, the contract. The lawyer could look at the contract and see what they can do. Cody thinks that Janelle is doing this to screw him. He says Janelle would do anything she could to screw him because she thinks he will try to screw her. He already screwed her. A majority of Robin's home was purchased with Janelle's Vegas home proceeds from selling that house. I don't think Cody has any intention of ever paying her back or Mary back for the parts she contributed as well. So he's not going to do the fair, right thing. He's not a good guy who's going to say, wow, these women have given me decades. It didn't work out, but they gave me kids. They gave me love. We created lives together. I'm going to do right by these women who are the mothers of my kids. No. Cody's not going to do the right thing. Cody's going to do everything he can to give them as little as he can. Cody will totally try and screw Janelle. Janelle pointed out in past episodes how recently Cody bought a bunch of luxury items, expensive artwork, expensive crap. And in my opinion, he's probably doing that to hide how much money he has from Janelle. He also refused to discuss how to pay off the land. For several years, Janelle has brought up tackling this, and Cody has ignored it. Janelle isn't trying to screw Cody. She has no interest in that. She just wants to be out of his hair and done with him. She can't stand him anymore. She just is trying to get her fair share. She knows what Cody is capable of, and she's not down to let him screw her one last time. She's going to make sure she tries to get her fair share. Janelle knows Cody is going to try to get away with giving her and Mary as little as possible and that it may not be fair. She also knows she has no legal protection. She's not a legal wife upon leaving Cody. She isn't the legal wife. And for decades, we have to remember, Janelle was the primary breadwinner, sacrificing her paycheck for the larger family. And Janelle knows Cody will screw her if he can. She can't count on him to do the right thing or to be a decent man as the father of her 6 kids. She can't count on him to do what's fair. Janelle's main concern is having something to leave her kids. She knows Cody doesn't give a fuck. She isn't trying to screw Kotex. She just wants what's fair, and she deserves it, and she's doing it for her children. Cody is a shit human. He doesn't care about his kids or their inheritance or their assets or any of that. He doesn't give a fuck. Janelle is the only one thinking of the kids. And all of Cody's inheritance is going to go to Robin or her kids. Now, Janelle gave him paychecks for years. She contributed to the family. All those decades. Janelle also paid for a huge chunk of Robin's house with her Vegas proceeds. Cody doesn't give a fuck. If he could get away with giving Janelle nothing, he would. Janelle is getting a lawyer, and that is the smartest thing to do. Cody is a low conscious, low morals, classless human being. And he would be cool screwing Janelle if he could. He wouldn't lose even one wink of sleep. And Janelle knows that. The smartest thing that woman can do is insist on a lawyer whether Cody likes it or not. If Cody couldn't make it to his daughter's surgery, something most decent men would not miss, there is no way we can expect when a wife leaves, he will be fair when he has no legal obligation to. He's not just going to do the right thing. Not with his kids, not with his ex-wives. Cody always puts himself first, and he will put himself first when it comes to his kids, with Janelle, and what should rightfully be their inheritance one day for the kids, Janelle has to secure. Janelle paid a lot into this family, and she deserves something to show for her sacrifice to Cody and the larger family. Cody is a dick. He wants to laugh and say, well, she thinks I'll screw her, so she wants to screw me first. But really, Janelle knows how low Cody is. She knows she can't expect him to do what is fair or what is right. She knows she isn't a legal wife. She has zero protection under the law. All she can do is try to get a fair deal when it comes to the land, when it comes to leaving. A lawyer is the way to go for Janelle. I was so happy she was insisting on that, and I hope she continues with it. Because if Cody can get away with robbing Janelle blind, he won't hesitate. Cody says he's bitter. He doesn't care as he laughs like a maniac during his confessional scene. Janelle explains to Cody that they really have to head off the 9-alarm fire. And Cody isn't too excited, of course, about talking to a lawyer. He says they'll talk to the lawyer after they have more info. And of course, Janelle says, as usual, they didn't reach anything definite. Cody says he made an effort for Janelle for years. And what did she do? She betrayed him. Cody is full of resentment, seething with vitriol. And he says Janelle teamed up with Christine when she left. And she gave Christine her empathy and her sympathy and her kindness and her attention and her time. Cody is really pissed about that. He says Janelle can worry about what she is going to do, and he's going to worry about what he is going to do. So now this is punishment for Janelle and her kids. Cody wants to jeopardize Janelle's financial security, what she could possibly leave her kids, because he is mad that Janelle stayed friendly with Christine. It upsets him so much that now he thinks his revenge is not giving Janelle financially what she deserves or what is fair. I seriously think this guy has sociopathic tendencies, possibly, in my opinion. The way he was smiling like a lunatic as if he finally got Janelle on something. But, not working with Janelle with the land, by saying he's going to do what he has to do, that he's going to hurt Janelle financially because she hurt him emotionally when she stayed friends with Christine, that just shows Cody is hateful, Cody is evil, Cody relishes in causing people stress and pain. And I really think, in my opinion, that he is just driven by his anger, driven by wanting revenge. And he really acts and seems to be very mentally unstable. I really wonder about how far Cody will escalate into his madness, into this break from reality. Janelle knows it's time to lawyer up at this point. Of course, I concur. I am so happy to hear Janelle really advocating for herself, insisting on a lawyer. That's the way to go. And we know this woman is organized and has receipts. I seriously think Cody is escalating mentally. And I think if he keeps escalating, I'm concerned. I just wonder what happens when we get to level red. We don't see it getting any better. We just see it getting worse and worse and worse. Cody takes this like a game, like a war, like he's keeping score. He's delusional. He's unhinged. And I don't want to know where it could escalate. But the level of anger this guy has got towards his ex-wives, towards his kids, towards his family, it's concerning. Cody seems like a total energy vampire. He exudes heaviness and anger and negativity. I wouldn't want to be in a room with this guy. Just seeing his face on the TV screen and how angry he is, that anger that he exudes, it's exhausting. It's super exhausting just watching his scenes. I can't imagine how much energy this guy really sucks out of a room when he comes in, walking in like a black hole, all doom and gloom. He sucks probably all the fun and all the joy out of everything, everywhere he is. The only time this guy is smiling is when he feels like he finally got Janelle where it hurts financially. He is so resentful about her loyalty to Christine. But in the end, when Janelle gets that lawyer, she's going to be the one to have the last laugh. And even better than that, she will be free of Cody for good. And that is priceless. You can't put a price on peace of mind. That's it for this episode. I'll be back next week with the next episode of Sister Wives, Season 19, Episode 9, Baptism by Fire. That should be interesting. Janelle and Mary have a talk, and Cody and Robin meet David for the first time. I can't wait to see the expressions Cody makes. I really need some new thumbnails. Thanks for listening. I'll see you soon. Bye.